How you been? Good morning and welcome to Hollywood Melanin. My name is Shawn, by the way.
Thank you. I've been good this morning. How are
It's a little cloudy where I'm at, but I could see the sun coming through, so it's like good sunlight anyway, so that's a good thing. I think there's a delay.
Yeah, that is.
So anyway, let's just jump right into it. Welcome to Hollywood Melanin. Like I said, my name is Shawn, and I'm just excited to interview you. I have been a fan of the franchise, and I caught last season. Welcome you guys back to reality TV. How excited are you to be back on reality TV? I know you've already shot. You guys wrapped already, right?
Yes, we did. I am very, very excited. I am showing a lot more of my life this season, which you didn't see last season. So I'm excited about that. And we have 2 new cast members, which is also exciting.
Now, did you know these cast members or are they just new? They're just new like to everybody or just new to you?
They're new to me, but Leah, which is one of the new cast members, she met the group by way of Imani because her husband works with Imani. And then Kendra is a OB-GYN and she met Britton, or she met us through Britton. So they already had a friendship, and then Leah and Imani did, and now we're all trying to mesh ourselves together.
In the most organic way possible in front of cameras.
Exactly. You will see what that looks like.
A question, what made you say, okay, I'm gonna do this show? Because I always wonder when people get into reality TV, like, was it a friend that was just like, we should do this show? Did they approach you? What was that like? And was there the hesitation to return? Was there any hesitation to return this season?
That's a great question. So they on Facebook, apparently. And so my husband was we had discussed it prior to this presenting itself, way when we first met, like, yeah, we will never do a reality show. We said that to each other. And then he sent that message, and it was literally maybe 2 or 3 days after my grandmother had passed away at 102 years old. And I was pregnant with G, and I obviously had like this desire to be something great. And I had been trying to be an entrepreneur for several years, ever since I was in high school, honestly. I had an online boutique. And so I have been trying different ways, but it always seemed like I wasn't reaching people. And so I don't know, the timing just made me feel like it was right, because the show was about medicine. I am married to medicine, and I felt like personally, if anybody could showcase what being married to medicine is like, I could, because there's a lot of people don't know about my lifestyle. It looks very glamorous, but it's very rare that we actually enjoy the fruits of the labor. And so I felt like, here I am. My husband said he's not going to do it, but maybe I can get up here and I can protect our lifestyle by respecting that he doesn't want to be on the show. And then I can also say, hey, here I am, a young Black girl who wants to inspire people, motivate people to be healthy, to be a boss babe, and all of those things. I'm becoming a mom. Maybe this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I gave it a try.
Wow. So him not wanting to be on the show, that's interesting. And it works, obviously, because you guys, that's the thing. I would wonder, especially right now, him being someone in the medicine field, how is it for you guys at this point? I know you're quarantining, but I've read some really emotionally draining interviews from women who are married to medicine or men who are married to medicine. Very difficult time right now. I've read people sleeping in their cars because they don't want to come home because they've been in ER and they don't want to, infect their families.
Now, I think that at some of the facilities that he goes to, they put the patients that have COVID in a certain area
Yes.
of the hospital, like a certain wing, and he's a psychiatrist. So he's seeing patients that have mental illnesses
Ah,
that
okay.
maybe were caused by this quarantine, but his work hasn't really changed. I want to say he hasn't been in direct contact with anyone that he knows of that has the virus, but just being in that environment in a hospital, you're exposing yourself, and then he has to come home. Whether he takes his shoes and clothes off at the door, it's in his system if it's in his system. So we practice. That's a lot of the reason why we practice such a healthy lifestyle. He works out just as much as I do. He kind of got me into it. So, and Jesus
Really?
worked out with me. Yeah, he did.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive. That's great. So were you a fitness fan years ago, or you just were like, you know what, this is to get me back into shape after having your child? Was it that?
Well, well, the journey started for me like maybe 10 years ago. And prior to meeting my husband 10 years ago, I was always athletic, but I was at the point where I was 20, I was 21. I was still young. I was cute. I didn't have to work out. I didn't even know about that world. I was just in my own little routine of, having fun. So I never even really took it seriously. And then it was a huge part of his routine. He's very regimented. And that was something that I was not. So I'm like the sporadic fun, whatever I feel like doing today is kind of what I'm going to do, girl.
Uh-huh.
And so for us to kind of get on the same page, I had to adjust to having structure. And this was something he was doing. And I'm like, we're together. So I would go to the gym with him, and I'm like, okay, I started to like it. I liked the way I felt, gave me confidence. It obviously made me look good. It was a stress reliever, so it worked out. And so I've been doing it ever since. I was doing it before the baby. I did it throughout having my baby, and then now postpartum, still fit. So
Wow.
yeah, I like it. It's something I truly am passionate about and that I enjoy. So
I was looking, you have a great following on Instagram, and you're giving a lot of great stay-at-home tips.
yes.
In this quarantine. I mean, how does that make you feel? Because it's funny, now people are on their phones all day. It's funny, if you think like maybe 8 months ago, people were like, okay, I could only be on social media for maybe a half an hour a day. Now, people are watching TV shows. They're probably watching Married to Medicine, LA, catching up because you guys are back.
Yep.
But you've got all these things that are kind of aiding people through this quarantine, and you are actually a part of that. I mean, if you think about it, people are going to your page probably even more now because you're home. So it's not like you're outside. If you're outside, you're in your home outside. Right. You know what I mean? So you're giving these great tips. I find that to be fascinating because now you're probably getting more people asking you questions, fitness questions probably as well.
Yes, I am trying to bridge the gap right now because I have a lot of people that seem to be interested and they want to invest in their fitness, but they're not bridging the gap between wanting to and actually doing it. So they enjoy seeing me post stuff and they say, oh, I'm going to try this. And, they'll DM me the next day and say, man, I still got to try that exercise, or I'm going to get with the routine soon, And so for me, it's a little, interesting because I want to see people make the move. I don't want people to just watch me because I feel like a part of my purpose is to like say you can do it and then get them to do it. And then they feel what I feel, which is this confidence and desire and control over your health and your body and your wellness. And so, yes, they are watching, but I'm trying to really get creative because it's so saturated on Instagram with other fitness and tips. So I'm just really trying to tap into my personal following and figure out what it is that may be holding them back. And I know we come from all different parts of the world and different conditions, different space, so I'm just really kind of like learning from them and also trying to teach them, but effectively, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So what would be like 3 easy things that someone could do from home And I'm like, I'm serious, like something easy, because I find that you know, when people look at someone like you,
Mhm.
you're extremely fit, beautiful.
Thanks.
But they're also thinking like, well, that just seems so like far reaching, you know? So for you, what would be something like 3 easy things, like jumping rope? I mean, you know what I mean? Like something very simple and easy that someone could take away just quickly and maybe get in shape, start getting in shape. Ooh, look, she's got
So
cards.
I wrote down my top 5 tips. I tried my best to make it simple. I'm just not your simple girl. As you can see, I have a lot to say. But I think that if you want me to give you 3, I can, but I did write down 5.
Okay, well, 5 is good, honey. Let's go.
Okay, so these are my top 5 jazzy tips. The first tip that I have is to meal prep. Healthy meal prep. Now, some people may not know why or figure I'm at home, I don't need to meal prep, but you do. Because now that we've been home, look at how many of us are finding it hard to actually be productive. Our home is our comfort zone. So it's going to be the easiest and most vulnerable place for us to just get in a routine of doing what we do when we get home, which is chill. So if you can manage to meal prep some healthy meals and grab them when it's time to eat, you're going to save time. You're going to save yourself the stress of trying to figure out what to eat, and you're going to be portioned out. So there's portions already prepped, and you don't have to worry about overeating, because that's easy when you're at home, right? Exactly. Then the biggest thing about meal prepping right now is that you're not going to waste food, because I'm noticing that you are wasting food these days at home, cooking all these meals, you know, either the husband doesn't want the rest or the kid doesn't, you know. So that's my first tip. My second tip is to hydrate, because hydrating actually helps you lose weight. See, we're here with it, okay? So these work for me, these liter bottles. If I could get like enough to just jug around with me, then I'm like, okay, I'm drinking it, and then I'll just refill it. We all know the benefits of water. It significantly helps you. You can lose water weight from it, and it also helps with digestion, which is important because we're sitting so much. And if we're not circulating and, you know, getting all of those things moving, then they're just sitting too. Cardio, like you were saying, is very, very important. I just bought this cute little trampoline from Target, and they have drive up pickup. It's $40, and it's a single. Yes, I will send you the link, and you just just sitting there jumping. And what I love about it is the reduced cellulite, which was one of my biggest problems when I was pregnant, just because for whatever reason. So it reduces cellulite significantly. The trampoline is also great for circulation, for blood flow. And then you have jump rope, like you said. I love high intensity interval training. So that would include jump squats, burpees, things like that. You can do any of those type things, jump squats, where you're jumping up and really like getting your heart rate to jump really high and then go low. That's the point of it, because it's gonna get your metabolism going and everything else. So the way to do those is to always break it up into sets. So if you want to do jump squats, for example, you want to make sure you're doing at least 3 to 4 sets. Some people will say, yeah, I'm gonna do jump squats, and they'll do 20 and that's it. But you got to do them in sets. So 3 sets of maybe 20. If you can't do 20, do 10. But just make sure you do all 3 sets. And if you can manage to do 4, then that's great too. So yeah, and I have a bunch of routines on my Instagram and YouTube too that you can do. And dancing is great for cardio. Yes, you know, it's so important that we kind of make our own mood, because I'm pretty tired of being in the house. So put the music on, vibe out, but actually move, you know, because that's really going to help the blood flow, your heart rate. That's important. It's so important for us. It really is. The circulation of our blood, all of that. It's important.
Oh my God, that Target. Okay, could you seriously, the link, girl?
I think it's actually in my living room, and I will show you before the end of this. I got 2 more tips though.
Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Okay, my next one, the one before last, is a bedtime ab routine.
Okay.
So I say bedtime because I personally forget about my abs and I neglect them. But I say every night before I go to bed, right before I hop into the bed, I just lay on the floor and do 100 reps of anything. Anything. It could be the side to sides,
Okay.
the Russian twist. It could be a regular crunch. Just do 100. It goes by really fast. And it makes you feel good. Before going to bed, you feel like you did something. You know what I mean? And the last one is easy. It's a sleep schedule. It's so important that we go to sleep at a good time so that we can wake up at a good time. And rest is essential to our health and to our weight loss, because you can work out as much as you want, eat as healthy as much as you want, but if you're not getting sleep, you're not going to see your hard work pay off. So we want to be
energized. How many hours would you recommend? How many hours? And like, what if a person goes to bed at 12 and they get up at 7 or 8? Is that still good? Or yeah. Okay. So how many hours would you recommend?
I mean, I say at minimum 6 because that's what I shoot for. But I say 6 to 8 is good. You know, got to do what you can. And I use herbal teas to help me to induce my sleep because I'm a little anxious, especially now. So I do stuff with lavender in it, you know, stress relief. I have valerian drops. Have you heard of valerian? Very good, right? And then the sleep gummies with melatonin in them, little ollie.
My husband loves that.
Yeah,
he loves those. He does, but he'll take it like a few hours beforehand and it kind of just winds him down. Oh my God. Okay. Oh girl, I'm like, this is amazing. This is amazing. So like I love the fact that these are all stay at home. Everything, if you round it up, that's still less than a gym membership, to be honest with you, which you just gave. Those are all pretty inexpensive things to do.
You like them? Yeah, I mean, well, what was, you cut out in the beginning, but I know you said.
I was going to say all the tips that you just gave were so good. They're all cheaper than a gym membership.
Yeah. But see, the struggle is getting your mind in a place of committing and having the discipline to do it, because you could have everything. You could have a whole gym. We have a gym downstairs and I go through stages where I don't use it just because I'm just not there. So I think that we got to remember that if you want to make progress in health and fitness, you have to commit to it mentally and physically. And if you can manage to get in sync with what you say you want and what you're actually doing to get it, then you don't have a problem. But we just have to get a grip on our mental health, on our mental focus, and we'll be good.
Well, I think right now, those are great tips that will help people mentally, because this is a very trying time. I mean, I could even say for myself last night, I don't know, just became very anxious just about everything going on, because people, especially people who have very regimented lifestyles, they're changed. You have to make your own new normal right now.
Right.
And that's a difficult thing, because it can be kind of depressing, because everybody, it's funny, someone said my vision board for 2020 was this, and it's completely different. You know what I mean? So now you have to make do with all of that, you know? So I think that's one of the great things. Have people
I agree.
to doing any television besides Married to Medicine?
Absolutely. I want to build my acting resume. I'm obsessed with Issa Rae right now. I've always loved Sanaa Lathan. So those are my two inspirations when it comes to acting. I love the way they just seem so natural and relatable and all of the above. So I would love more TV.
Okay, that's very good. Well, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to talk to Hollywood Melanin, helping us out health-wise. I know this season's going to be very entertaining. I know you can't talk about anything.
Yeah.
Tell us what is the first day, the premiere day? I think it's in May, isn't it?
Yes, it's May 3rd. It's a Sunday.
Sunday's best. Oh my. Yes. Well, Jazmin, thank you so much for talking. My name is Shawn. And once again, thank you so much for just guiding us through this. And I'm going to put all of your tips and everything on there, and you will see your interview coming up shortly. Okay.
Yay. Thank you so much.